Hello again, everyone. Today I'm here with a flip through of my YouTube journal. So this is the journal that I keep track of all of my filmed videos, future videos, when I'm scheduling to put them up on YouTube and that sort of thing. So I will show you the Traveler's Notebook itself because it's kind of special, and I really love this one. And then I'll show you my setup and how I have divided things up. So this is a Chic Sparrow Penelope from the Odyssey collection, which is no longer available. And when I got it, it was no longer available. I got it in a second chance sale. I was over the moon when I got this in the second chance sale. They now have second chance up as a regular thing. I don't know if they will have any Penelopes. This is originally, so if you don't know, the Odyssey collection was made from the Darcy leather, now Austin leather, and this was the burgundy leather as the under leather for this. And they sort of weather it or distress it a little bit. So this was definitely rolled by someone at Chic Sparrow, I think, because of the big wrinkles, and there is some patina that they've put on there with a dye, I believe. But this is such a gorgeous journal. I love it so much. I originally had it set aside as a daily journal. Well, actually not a daily journal, but I would put special events in the journal. Like if I went to a concert or a play or something, I would put the ticket in the journal and then I would journal about it. And I would also plan future vacations and that sort of thing. And so it was sort of a special events journal more than anything else. But I just wasn't using it. And especially now, I'm not using it for that purpose. So I had my YouTube journals or notebooks in a different narrow. This is narrow, if I didn't say. This is the narrow size. I had it in a different narrow TN, and I thought, you know, this is just really not getting enough love. And I'm generally messing with my YouTube journal almost every day. So I wanted to have it in a notebook that I would really, really like looking at every day and feeling and using every day. So that's why this is where it is. So as you can see, front and back, it's got a very nice distressed look. Based on how much I love this, I'm actually considering maybe rolling some of my other leather notebooks. To date, I have kind of been in the no roll team, and I've always been kind of irritated at people who roll their journal and then put it up for sale. Like, roll it immediately and then put it up for sale. I'm like, well, you know, not everybody might like that. But, you know, that's just personal preference. No offense to those people. If you're one of those people, I apologize. But I was always kind of on team no roll. So, but now I'm thinking the more I hold this notebook, the more I really like the wrinkles. And so at some point, I have to think about which one I might want to do this with. I think the Darcy / Austin leather is probably the best, just because of its stiffness and its texture to loosen it up with rolling. So we'll see. That remains to be seen, and I digress really. So let me go ahead and show you the inside of this. So I just have 4 narrow notebooks in here. This size is also considered a standard size, I believe. I don't have anything right now in my front pockets. I had several things like washi tape and that sort of thing in here when I was using this as a special events journal, but I took all those out because I don't really have anything like that for this journal, but I probably will put something in there soon. And this is my Sailor in the Promenade, I think is the style name of this pen. This I got off of Amazon. I'll put a link below. And I have been loving using this. That was the other thing, like this, because of the color of this Sailor, which matches almost perfectly to this leather, I always have it associated with this notebook. And because I wasn't using the notebook, I wasn't using this pen. And I was like, you know, I don't care if it's just a thing that I use every day to scribble notes in. I want to use this pen. So I'm not going to show you too much of what's in these notebooks because I don't want to give anything away for future videos that I have planned. But basically this front notebook is a calendar, is in calendar format. And I have just made up the calendars myself. I'll go ahead and show you this last page so you'll see. See, I have planned out all the way to like forever. So I've written them out just because I didn't have a weekly set up planner. And as you can see, it's really messy. It's nothing special. And I tend to make a lot of changes. So like if I get something in the mail that I really want to show to you soon, I will bump that up in my schedule. So I'll like cross out the old one and move the other one forward. So it's really messy in here. So I'm not going to show you too much, but, and I'm only using one side for the calendar. So I think when I'm through this notebook, I'm probably going to go back to the front and use the other side and put dates on that as well. I also really like the horizontal format, I think is what that one is called, for just having the days stacked like that. It's kind of like a Hobonichi Weeks, that sort of format. And I really prefer that to the vertical format. I don't know how I feel about it in my not Hobonichi, my Jibun Techo that I have as my daily planner. It's a little different for that purpose, but for this I really like the weeks style. So these are all inserts from, well, these three anyway, the first three are all inserts from a vendor on Etsy, which I will put a link to below. And this is the thicker Timoy River paper. And this is the paper that I think is part of the new batch of Timoy River paper, because I have had way more trouble with this paper than I've had with previous batches of this paper in the past. Some pens will bleed through it that didn't used to bleed through this paper. It's a whole thing. I don't really want to go into it too much today about the changes with Timoy River paper. But if you just Google changes to Timoy River paper, I'm sure you'll get plenty of articles about how the manufacturer of this paper has changed and the actual paper itself has changed. I don't think I have tried any of the new thinner paper yet. So I am really interested to see how that fares. So far, not that impressed, assuming I'm correct and that this is actually the new thicker Timoy River paper. Yeah, I've had some issues with, mostly with bleed through. Okay, so that's that. So that is just a calendar week by week of what I'm going to be posting up on the channel. This one, I am not going to show you any of the contents because first off, there's only a few pages listed in here. But for this one, I have a list of all of the potential topics. This is just sort of brainstorming. Oh, maybe I'll do this topic this day. Things that people have suggested to me will go in this list. And it's a pretty long list, even though it's just a few pages. So I apologize if you've requested a video and it does take me a little while to get around to it because I just have a lot of things on the list. So, but everyone's requests, unless it's something I truly cannot do, which sometimes it is, just because I don't have the product needed or whatever. But if I can do it, I will put it on the list and it'll be done at some point in the future. So that's what that one's for. This one is more full. I'm not going to show you. And again, this one's kind of a mess. This one has the most used of this notebook. And I put the date. So I actually put the subject of each video, the date I filmed it, the links that I want to include, and then at the end when I finally posted it, I check it off and then put a date on which I posted it to YouTube. So that's that. And the reason why it takes up so much space, like it's almost full, is because of the links. Like there's all kinds of links that I want to provide to you all. So that's what's in there. And then this is more for marketing and things like tips on on editing videos and search terms that people use that I can put as search terms in my videos. So it's basically more of the mechanics of the YouTube channel. So when I switch these out, this will probably stay the longest because it'll have the most long-lasting information in it. And this was actually I'm pretty sure it's the thinner Timoy river paper, and it's like the best Timoy river paper I have ever used. I don't know where it came from. You can see the little thank you here. This was a notebook that someone sent me with a used traveler's notebook that I purchased. I can't remember which brand or what it was, but the notebook was just so amazing that I decided to use it in here. And this is actually one that will continue to be used. It has a beautiful pattern. I think it goes pretty well with the cover too. So that's it. In this back folder, I'll put, sometimes I'll put like receipts for things that I want to swatch or something, so I'll remember the colors. That's what's in here now. Things like that, or any, just bits and bobs of things that I want to keep track of, I'll put back here. And I'll probably do the same with these front pockets eventually. And look at those beautiful wrinkles there. It's so beautiful. When I did get this notebook, it was a little dusty looking, but I just rubbed the dust bag over it and it looks like new. I can't remember if I've actually conditioned this one. I may have put some Chic Sparrow conditioner on it, but I don't remember. But either way, the dust cloth, don't get rid of your dust cloths. Use them to polish your TNs because it really brings them up to their former luster. All right, well, I'm going to close that up. I hope you found that useful. Just another use for a traveler's notebook. If you don't have a YouTube channel, I'm sure you could find something similar to use a narrow for. Narrow is one of my sizes that I use the most. I would say narrow and B6 Slim, which is interesting because B6 Slim is really just a shorter version of narrow. I find narrow really, really useful. It's not too big, like sometimes I find an A5 to be too big, and it's not too small because there's plenty of room for writing, and especially for like the calendar format like I have in here, it leaves plenty of room and it works great. All right, so that's it for today. Feel free to subscribe so you can keep track of future videos on my channel. As you can see, I have lots to come. Actually, you didn't see because I didn't show you, but but believe me, there are plenty of videos. And I've been doing a lot of unboxings and things like that, and that's just because like there was this really big period of time in which I wasn't getting a lot of things in the mail because everything was kind of slowed down because of coronavirus, and now I'm getting more things. So that's why I've been having so many of those unboxings. I do want to focus more on sort of tutorials or art with me's or journal with me's or things like that in the future. So we'll see what the future holds. If you do have any suggestions for future videos, please let me know. But as you've seen, it might take a little while for me to get to it. But unless I can't do it, I will at some point meet your request. Okay, that I can promise. All right, so have a great day. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.